a team of artists have launched a class action lawsuit against Ability AI, Midjourney, and DeviantArt for trading their AI generators on stolen intellectual property. And we have Captain Kibbs here with a very hot take. The comments on this are funny. The whole thing can be safely summed up as no one knows what they're talking about. Turns out, in the end, I was right. The AI, at the end of the day, regardless of anything, had little impact on reality. Oh my god, that is such an insightful take. It reminds me of the older generation saying that the internet is just a toy and it will never become anything more than that. It reminds me of the people before that, which said that the computer is way too big and it will never become a household item. It's kind of the same with Kibbs here. Like, not understanding what AI is. It's kind of like looking at the video game Pong and saying, you know, like, these video games, they're very simple. Like, no one is going to spend too much time on them. People still prefer to go outside and play soccer. There's never going to be a time when people are going to prefer video games over real sports. In reality, we're just seeing what AI can do. What the AI is doing here is the equivalent of Pong in video games. So it's still at a very basic level. Most companies are just showing their products to the public, and the public seems to be very enthusiastic by it. And in some situations, especially if you look at art, I mean, they want art exhibitions. So it is undoubtable the fact that there's a lot of potential here. And it's not like there's stagnation. It's not like it can't grow and it can't develop from this. Because I see a lot of people saying, well, it can't do hands properly. Well, it still can't do this. It can't do that. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, Pong didn't have 3D graphics either. Just wait a while. Now, what I noticed regarding the conversation around AI art is that there are some people which can't draw for shit, and then there are a lot of people that are driven purely by ideology, and they will say, no, like, my drawings are beautiful because art is subjective. And they get really upset when people subjectively choose AI art over their shit. And these are the ones that realize they're going to be replaced right away because the market is just not interested in their stuff. And the market just prefers to go for AI art. So they're the ones that are really upset. Like, with that in mind, right? Like, when you realize that you have a person who's afraid of being replaced, all the criticism that he has towards AI is not to make the AI better. It's not to improve it, right? It's not legitimate criticism. No, like, he wants to find reasons why it should disappear from the market. And when you have artists that are suing this, you know, those people are going to support the artists. Especially the ideological, possessed type of individuals. Now, of course, you know, there's other criticisms, like actual game developers, I know they're getting fired over the AI. And it's not stability AI, it's not novel AI. No, it's in-house AI that the public still doesn't have access to. Like, for example, Ubisoft, Blizzard, you know, they most likely have their own in-house AI trained by their own artists, and they're going to just use that in order to downsize their teams. I mean, think about it, right? Like, if you're an artist that works on World of Warcraft at Blizzard, all you do all day long is you make pieces of armor. So you have like thousands of pieces of armor that you need to make for the next patch. It's boring, it's tedious, but that's your job. Now, you have this AI which can just manufacture armor on command. Well, now you don't need a team of 100 artists to do that. You just need a team of 10 artists that just verify to see what the AI has done. And this is something similar which happened in hospitals. Like, in hospitals, especially in the laboratory, you had a team of chemists, an army of chemists, that were using reactives in order to diagnose patients. Now, as things become automated, and now you just have a machine and a computer, you have one, maybe two chemists for the entire hospital. And that one or two chemists just verify to see the results. So yeah, like, there are people that are legitimately afraid that they're going to be replaced by the AI. That probably some of them are genuinely going to be. If you're an artist that asks for commissions, unless you can draw something that looks gorgeous and beautiful, you're going to have less people asking you for commissions. The market is going to shrink. A lot of people are just going to commission themselves from the AI. So yeah, I can see why they're upset. Now, regarding the legal issues, it's a gray area. Like, literally no one knows. Like, for example, right? The idea that it's using art from other artists, there is the argument that this is fair use. Because it's very similar to how a DJ can mix different songs in order to create something new. I don't really see much of a difference between this and that. The way the AI learns is literally the same like a human being learns. Like, if you want to become an artist, you are going to look at the art drawn by other artists in order to make your own. Right? So there's a lot of conversations because there's a gray area. Like, never in human history has something like this happened before. I'm pretty sure eventually it's going to be legislated, but until then, it's going to be up to the judges to decide whether or not what is happening here is intellectual theft. From what I know is that the manufacturers of these AIs have always taken down the art when requested. So if you have an artist saying, like, I don't like the fact that you use my art, they will just take it down. However, even if these companies get sued and they pull their product off the market, and you're not going to be able to use Stability AI, you're not going to be able to use Midjourney, there's going to be other companies. You can't stop this. A lot of people are upset saying, it's like, oh, V, why do you like AI so much? Why do you think it's a good thing? I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but what I do think is that it's unstoppable. The genie is out of the bottle. The technology is going to be there. You can't stop Blizzard from developing its own in-house AI, which is going to use Blizzard's artists that they hire in order to create the template for the AI to function. And you're going to have other corporations do the same. Eventually, there's going to be absolutely no legal reason as to why you should shut them down, because it's going to be 100% consensual. And the people that are going to make the new versions of AI, they're going to know exactly what pictures went in there. Everyone that designed pictures for that is going to have to sign their signature that they consent. And that's it. There's not going to be any more copyright theft. Because apparently, like, this is the greatest concern on the internet. It's like, oh my god, it's copyright theft. Okay, fine. You know, I agree. Let's assume it is. Even though, apparently, fair use is something that these people don't talk about at all. But let's assume it's not fair use. Let's assume it's 100% copyright theft. Okay, all of these current generations of AI are going to disappear from the market, and you're going to get new generations. So my sincere advice to you, if you're an artist, you need to start getting on with the time. You need to understand how to use this as a tool in order to make more money, how it can make your work easier. It's really the same like artists complaining the first time Photoshop came on, and I think it was called Corel, the first software that I remember which tried to help artists. And they were like, oh my god, well, this is too difficult. And the ones that used Corel did much better work. Like, you're using computer in order to assist you with your drawing. How is this any different? I do not understand. Like, if you're an artist, you can just use the software in order to get better art, and then you can use your own hand in order to correct the errors and to make it look better. And I think like that's what the future is going to be like. You're going to have a lot of artists learning how to use the AI as a tool. I mean, think about it this way. If you're an artist, like, there's already programs that can take like 50 pictures that you made, and then it can start churning out images in your own style. And it can make your work a lot easier, because then you just correct the errors, or, you know, you do the sketch and the AI colors it for you. And by the way, like, this might actually be good in the long run, because then people can just write their own manga, they can write their own comic books, they can do a lot of other things that up until now, unless you were an artist and unless you had a lot of time, you couldn't do. But like, if anyone can just, you know, maybe like 10 years from now, anyone will know how to use these things, and it's going to be so easy to just put out images, yeah, then people can just make their own mangas, they can make their own comics, they can just revolutionize the entire entertainment industry. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.